Hello everyone, a very good evening to you from India. It's almost like 6 p.m. or something over here, and today I wish to discuss about a topic because here on my channel I mostly talk about planets. I have in between talked about some emotional health and mental health stuff which I wish to continue, but I am majorly talking about planets, right? So today again I am back with a planet called Ketu, and you won't believe my dog is here as soon as I said Ketu, and as soon as I was about to announce that I okay. So yeah, Ketu is often like related to dogs, right? It is said that in I don't know what's the word in English for Fakir, but when we talk about Ketu is related to this quality in a person which is like being a fakir. So this fakir is basically a person who has usually this person really doesn't have anything to do with the normal life, cars, clothes, and those kind of comfortable, mundane, usual riches of the world is not something this Ketuish person is often worried about. So I had to press the re-record button because I actually wrote some lines about Ketu which I didn't want to recollect and tell. I just wanted to like tell by reading it. So Ketu is energy of the minimalist versus Rahu is all extravagant. Rahu mindset will push you to buy that triple door fridge which has the option of pouring out ice cubes and stuff, whereas Ketuish mindset would be okay with that outdated fridge which still operates on manual functions. It may not even have digital touch or something, but but the Ketuish person will not mind. They'll be like, okay, doesn't consume much energy and has some storage for me, fine, this will do the job. So that's how a Ketuish and a Rahuish mindset is having a minimalist and an extravagant attitude, right? But this doesn't mean that a Ketuish person is not going to ever long for any sort of riches of the world, is not going to long for some sort of satisfaction, will not have any object of desire, right? Because we cannot deny the fact that it is an entity which was once a part of this person called Swarbhanu, who is basically the king of all the demons, right? So, which is called Asura in Hindi. So, he was the king of all these Asuras, and he had his malicious motives and intentions all the time, like so did all the Asuras. And that's why this particular person became the king of all these other normal laymen Asuras, because try to understand the fact of the matter is that he was blessed with so many qualities, he was blessed with so much of skill sets, that he became this person, right? So he became the king. So Ketu was once a part of this, but Ketu had to let go. Here comes the part, letting go. The very important part of the entire astrology domain, in the entire astrological domain of things is Ketu, because Ketu becomes really harsh for people who are not willing to let go, who are not willing to kill certain desires, right, that they have, and they may really be like malicious. The intention may not really be pure. So Ketu will give to some people anxiety, because it's literally like a planet which is known to give anxiety. Then it will also, because anxiety and depression like go hand in hand, right? So it will give that also. But if we like try to understand the cause, because that's the main thing over here. So the cause is the letting go part, and letting go is not tough, is not easy. So that's why I wish to discuss a little bit more today about Ketu, and I started with the minimalist topic When I started the video, my dog had entered because so I also wish to talk about, like I talked about Fakir, right? Fakir is a person, maybe in between my video got cut. So Fakir is a person who doesn't really mind the sort of clothes she wears, whether there's an earring put on or not. The Fakir will not care about the society, because Fakir is a person who's very careless, but has a bliss inside. Okay, Fakir is also the person who may move like nomads from one place to another, but only in search of bliss. So, in today's topic, as you read the title, what I'm trying to discuss is that there's a difference between this thing called spirituality and hippiness, right? And these are two very important topics to discuss and keep in consideration, because when we talk about hippies, there's a whole side to hippies. And why? Because when we see hippies, right, hippies are people, now I don't have to explain that much, those who believe in the concept, but I'll still go ahead and explain for some of you who don't know. They basically, like they are very good escapists. They escape most of the things in their life, their family, their responsibilities, career and everything, and just go on like travel ventures, right? And with the word hippie is considered a very strong I may almost be like character assassinating hippies, because hippies are not all the time wrong, but this is how it is perceived in our society, that hippies are also known to be junkies. So like people who will do drugs and smoke marijuana and those sort of things, right? So I'm sorry, excuse me. It's important to discuss today why like the quality of being a hippie is inside a Ketuish person. And on the other side, when we talk about people who are again Ketuish and may not be accepted by society because of this particular trait that they have in them, which is similar to hippies, but they are not hippies because they are not junkies, and they have a better sense of responsibilities and a profound respect for following a righteous path, like a dharma or something. Then it's monk, a monk who he renunciates. I'm so sorry. He renounces the world, or he or she, a monk. A monk can be anybody, female or male, right? So when we take these two people, a hippie is not necessarily always a bad person, and a monk who renounces his maybe the home, let's say a monk could also be a person who doesn't renounces the home or the homely duties, but renounces the world, renounces all the worldly duties. Let's say this monk was before a politician and used to deliver to masses in so many ways, but now is not doing that anymore. So with that we can conclude that this person has renounced something. Sometimes people renounce everything, like they renounce almost all the things, and they just like become these agoris, yogis, like those who go on the mountain they climb the mountain, the Himalayas, and they just like meditate, that's all. So it's not always a bad thing when a person wants to renounce. Ketu as a planet can give that sort of a desire, right, to anybody, to a banker, to a housewife as well. It can give that feeling to a person to become a hippie, to go travel places, to not sit in one place, because it's just not working out for those people, and it doesn't. So you know why, how I wish to conclude this video is by telling you, now that I've explained you the entire the scenario, the context, what is the motive is the point. What is the motive which is giving fire to this particular desire in Ketu's mahadasha, antardasha, pratyantardasha, or if Ketu is sitting in the lagna, then why is this sort of a, because if you both see both things, the hippie or the monk who is renouncing and the hippie who's traveling places, there's a theme of escapism, or there's a theme called running away from the mundane life. So why this is happening? Because we have to look at this minimalist energy, because see, the person is trying to now minimize a lot of things in his or her life. The person is trying to literally get rid of things that are not serving any purpose, right? That's why you can say two things. Is Ketu madness or any sort of connection to the higher source that is within? Or is it like madness that makes us connect to our lowest self? That could be like escapism, running away from responsibilities, cutting off ties, because you feel you cannot do it, and low self-worth and self-esteem can lead you into things. So here really, whenever you are, if you are an astrologer and if you're trying to understand somebody's Ketu, or if you're just a person in general and you don't need planets anymore, maybe you're that person who has you've obtained some sort of siddhi and you can just read the face and you can get to know what's going on with this person. Here comes the fine line, especially when understanding the Ketuish energy, that what is the motive if the renunciation is coming in? Is it possible that the person knows that the homely world is the homely duties and responsibilities is not going to provide anything to this person anymore? So maybe if that sort of understanding has been developed, then for sure the motive is not wrong. The motive is to do, the intention is not wrong, right? But let's say if the person, on the contrary, again with the hippie thing, knows that sitting at home or sitting in one place, being idle, not knowing, not exploring how big the world is in fact going to serve this person a lot of depression and hopelessness and anxiety, because the person knows that the person is just killing time and not going out and exploring these things for him or herself. Then in that case and scenario, right, that the person who's like almost acting like a hippie has a good intention, has a good motto, because the person wants to go out and learn, want to become more knowledgeable. So a person is essentially a seeker. And on the other hand, this monk who wants to renounce something, leave something, like again the hippie is leaving some things and going out to seek something. Similarly, this monk is leaving something and is going out and doing his or her, or seeking his or her righteous path. Then that's also not wrong. So with that, I conclude today's video, because I really don't want to keep it too long. Although I have a lot of stuff that I wish to talk about, but I'll save it for some another day. So if you like my video, then you can definitely give it a thumbs up. If you relate to it, then please put in your thoughts, maybe any sort of suggestion that you want to give me. I'm open to constructive feedback on the comment section. Just want to say one thing. I've made most of my videos astrological content in English, right? But there are some videos that I have made in Hindi as well. But the sort of response that I got on those videos was good. It was great. I'm an Indian. मैं हिंदी बोलती हूँ. But I wish to reach to people, to larger audience, to like the entire population on earth through my spiritual topics. Okay, the reason being that India is a land of rich spiritual culture and knowledge, which is like really it's hidden, it's not really out there out loud. And if I can reach to any person sitting in Spain, or if I can reach to someone who's sitting in Sweden, then I would appreciate that as well, and which is one of my like wish. It's not something I plan और आई डिड इंटेंशनली. सो विद दैट बीइंग सेड, मैं हिंदी की वीडियोस इसलिए कम बनाती हूँ बिकॉज इंडियंस के पास ऑलरेडी इतना अच्छा रिच एक्सेस है. देयर इज़ सच ग्रेट एक्सेस दैट इंडियंस हैव टू सच ग्रेट बुक्स, बट पीपल हु रियली लॉन्ग फॉर हिडन डीप मीनिंग्स, और वो बाहर रहते हैं, राइट? तो विदेशी हैं और उनको इस चीज़ का वो है ही नहीं, काफ़ी ज्ञान का एक्सेस. सो इसलिए मैं ऐसा करती हूँ. एंड इफ़ दैट इज़ द कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक दैट यू वांट टू गिव मी, दैट प्लीज़ मेक योर वीडियोज़ इन हिंदी, देन आई वुड से दैट डोंट डू इट. हियर आई क्लैरिफाइड इट. With that being said, see you soon. Take care.